Two stories in the news. Story number one. High school administrators have tried for the last couple of years to persuade people in the audience at graduation ceremonies not to shout and whistle so loudly. The noise some people make when their kid walks on stage drowns out the name of the next person, and the families of those unfortunate next persons have been complaining that they never got to hear their kid's name read at graduation. To get an idea how out of hand these things have gotten, some people have been bringing air horns to graduations. Those things can actually cause hearing damage to people sitting nearby. Out of desperation, one school refused to hand diplomas to kids whose families were being too disruptive. The families hired a lawyer and threatened to sue the school. Rather than spend a lot of the school district's money fighting a lawsuit, the school relented and gave the kids their diplomas after the ceremony. Instead of the parents apologizing to the school, some of the parents grumbled that the school should have apologized to their kids. Story number two. Some female athletes at a private Catholic high school put pictures of themselves drinking beer on a website. They may have thought they looked cool, but their drinking violated the school's code of conduct, so they have been suspended from their athletic competition. Some of the girls' parents, instead of being embarrassed by their kids' conduct, complained that whoever sent the kids' photos to the principal was being a snitch. It wouldn't be fair to generalize about all parents, but clearly some parents aren't thinking about what messages their actions send to their children. In old-fashioned language, the parents aren't setting a good example. That's probably all that needs to be said, keeping in mind that there have always been a few parents like these and a few grumpy guys to complain about it. A little complaining can be a good thing. Responsible commentary can promote positive change. But we've grown accustomed to a particularly vicious form of social criticism that is infected with quasi-religious venom and political opportunism, most often from the religious right. That's what we would be hearing if Jerry Falwell, who passed away recently, was still around. He would find some way to use these news stories as examples of the decay in modern society. Unruly kids, permissive parents, lack of respect for authority. The stories are practically made for a guy like Falwell. Somehow he'd find a way to blame it all on liberals. He'd find a way to ignore the complexities of the stories and boil it all down into a concise homily mixing religion and politics. Will any of the conservative politicians or preachers who are still around grab onto these news stories the way Falwell would have? Maybe some of them already have. Maybe they are already saying liberal teachers and school boards are to blame for coddling parents. Maybe they are already arguing that if the girl athletes had been homeschooled, they wouldn't have been drinking at parties. Maybe they are already saying that Democratic politicians aren't talking about these incidents because Democrats don't care about morals and Christian values. Falwell is dead, but his mean-spirited, insidious style of rhetoric will probably live on after him. It's too bad.